Hello and welcome, beautiful Capricorns. Thank you for joining me. You're with Elle for your monthly Zodiac reading for June 2021. Thank you, Great Spirit, angels and guides, for your guidance and loving messages for Capricorns, for their highest good and for the good of all concerned. Alright, so first up here we have Judgment. Here in your first house area. So this area of the first house, or otherwise known as your ascendant, or for those Capricorn rising, this is influencing your appearance, your aura, your personality, your mode of expression. And Judgment is a revelation. It's an awakening. There's a letting go of all the negative emotions surrounding you that may have been or could be something that is preventing you from growth. So let go by forgiveness. Forgiveness has a great healing power for your highest good. And if you hold on to grudges for another person, then you are only feeding the poison to yourself. Okay, so you poison your life, not theirs. And by holding on to these grudges, you'll keep reliving the experience that you would rather be able to release. So you need some redemption. So forgive those that you have in some way wronged you. Forgive them for their misjudgment, forgive them for being who they are, forgive them for the way they behave or their actions. When using your forgiveness technique, you don't need to let that person back into your life, or you don't need to let that person even know that you are forgiving them. By just quietly going within and practicing forgiveness, you are helping to heal yourself, and you can forgive yourself for allowing yourself to be associated with them. Techniques like that. Then here in the area of your self-worth, you've got obstacles being removed. So anything that's been holding you back are now being removed through your determination and you overcoming something, rising above it, or getting ahead of it, and being able to leave a lot of it behind. So there's a lot of drive and determination here, and it is a sign of you being close to winning. So feeling like you're getting to the end of that course that you've been maneuvering through with all the obstacle course, got all the rods behind you now, and you've got the goal in your hand, so that you've achieved that. And it's also a message of not putting up with any nonsense. You've no need for you to put up with any nonsense. Now the moon here is a Pisces card in the tarot, and the moon is a card of emotions. It also governs the film industry, or anything that is mysterious or a mystery. And it holds a message for you of releasing the past so that you can see the big picture, and also avoid repeating past mistakes that have led to a dead end? Are you carrying other people's baggage? Because this is in the area of communication, connected with siblings, brothers and sisters, your neighbourhood, local area. So maybe you're actually carrying their baggage. So really think about what it is that you do need to be responsible for, and what it is that you know isn't your responsibility. You can try and help these people by using your communication and knowledge or advice, or writing them a supportive letter or something like that, but it's not your responsibility, it's saying here. And there's something that you're not aware of too when dealing with these sort of issues. So trust that heightened psychic ability, because the moon in the tarot is heightened psychic abilities. And in the second quadrant here, we have the return of someone coming back. If you've been waiting for someone to return home, this is the return of a loved one here with that Five of Cups. It's also allowing new people into your life, meeting people halfway, and forgiving someone. Now this is an indication of time of 1 to 3 weeks. The 5 in the tarot is a challenge number. There's challenges with number 5s, and acceptance of things maybe not being completely in your control. In the area of home, family, your roots, your early childhood, parents, domestic affairs, and how you see yourself, as well as land, property, and your nation that you come from or that you live in. So there's a return of a loved one connected to that. Two of Cups is the Union card, which is always lovely when it's presented here, and it is in the area of your social life, your love life, matters of the heart. And this 5th house is also about children. So you may be actually getting reunited with your children, or one of your children, or a child may actually enter your life and play a very prominent part. This 5th house area is about games and speculations and entertainment, and it has a noble quality. So you may find that noble part of yourself. It's certainly where you find your joy and does govern good fortune. And the Two of Cups here is also about true happiness and union, and a gift, an understanding of adult love. And then you have the Ten of Pentacles. Now the Ten of Pentacles here is shown up reverse, and I do read the reverse meaning with cards. So the Ten of Pentacles is about the pathway to health and wealth. But sometimes it does appear in your spread when there is something that you feel is undermining your security and happiness. Could even be a division of assets. Now this is to do with your working life, your working conditions, your work colleagues. So maybe some of you are changing jobs and getting your payout from your work. Maybe some of you are taking a break from work and got holiday leave, because this is also about trying to enhance your life in somehow, trying to turn things around so that you can be more comfortable. But it is the division of assets, and it could be a little bit of a bumpy road here. It is also to do with your well-being, mind and body and soul. So there's a strong message here for you to really focus on what you feel is going to enhance your life. Then we have the third quadrant. And this again is showing financially that there's enough there, but it's going out. You're needing to outlay with the Six of Pentacles reversed. It's also about not wanting to accept some sort of gift or feeling like, you know, someone is trying to be charitable to you. So it's sort of speaking about your pride in a little bit of a way, because you don't want to accept what offer is being helped. So just really contemplate that before you know, look a gift horse in the mouth. There could be those of you that feel like things are in a mess and you can't see your way out. Okay? And this is over here in the partnership, business partnership, marriage partnerships, and the public, dealing with one's equals, legal affairs and contracts, and even scandals are being highlighted with this. Now the antidote here, if you do feel that you're in a bit of a mess, is over here in the first house, because this is the polar opposite. So the antidote here is the Judgment and forgiveness. Forgiving yourself. Maybe you've bought into something that didn't turn out the way you wanted, and you need to, you know, not beat yourself up about that, but to look at this as some sort of opportunity to accept help if it's offered. Okay? And you've got the Four of Wands there. Now this quadrant is the area of other people, outside influences, and the 8th house is about other people's money, joint resources, loans, tax time. And the Four of Wands is actually a very favourable card to have there, because it's speaking to you about being able to live life to the fullest. And you've mustered enough courage to attain your goals, and you can temporarily relax a bit, enjoy the fruits of your creative endeavours. So you can feel a measure of achievement. This is also about moving in a new direction, a housewarming, could even be a wedding, could even be promotions. So you may even be looking at moving home, moving house. So this Four of Wands is letting you know that there will be a financial way forward to be able to do that. For those of you that are looking to move, some may be downsizing, some may just be getting out of a very tricky situation that could have had them having to even go through some terrible hardships, and that is now improving so that they can actually get some solid foundation back into their lives. So happy for any Capricorns that are in that situation and finding their feet again. And then you have the star, now she's reversed as well, and the star energy is very Aquarian energy, and it's a message in reverse of trying to not get too stuck in the past by clinging to past ghosts and not accepting advice that could be very healing and useful to you. So there's a bit of looking at your philosophy about all of that here in the 9th house. Your perspective on your healing, on your past, and how much you dwell on that. And by understanding that the past is no longer happening to you, it's your memories or your thoughts of the past. And if any of those memories or thoughts come through and they just pop into your head, like we call them flashbacks, if that happens to you, just say cancel. As soon as a flashback comes and you don't, and you think, what am I thinking about this for? I don't want to be thinking about this. This is not where I want my head to be today. You just cancel that thought, and immediately switch to something positive. I am safe. All is well. Out of this situation, only good can come to me for my highest good is a very, very good one. So, yeah, that's the message with the star card there for you. Now, the next quadrant is the 4th quadrant, and this is to do with outside influences, the world at large, friendships, and things that are hidden and kept secret from you, or things you keep to yourself and keep secret from others. So even though it's in reverse, you've got the world here in this area of your career. Now, we like this. We like having the world at our feet. So there's some karmic reward coming here, connected to your social status, your reputation, your achievements in life, parents, government, and promotions. Okay? So, again, you've got to sort of really contemplate what is it about the past that rules your mind, and sort those things out of how important is it to keep thinking about that. It's like nostalgia, but it can be those horror, those horror memories that you don't want to be reflecting on. And again, you have to forgive yourself and heal yourself and let go of those feelings, or thoughts. So when they sneak up on you, or you find that you're bashing yourself up about something, cancel it. Just cancel, or tell it to get out, get out of my mind, out of my thoughts. Okay? So this is a sign that things in the outer world aren't happening as quickly as you'd like, but there's still movement there. Okay? Your challenge is not to repeat old patterns of trouble and to see your career or your parents as a journey of education. And with your parents, for those of you that feel that they're to blame for your suffering or a childhood that you think should have been done differently, again, there's a need for forgiveness there. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. But forgive them also because they were only doing the best they could with what they had and what they knew, just as you will be only doing the best you can at being a parent with what you know and what you have. You can't sort of go beyond where it hasn't been, sort of thing. So just
Suffer.
keep it. It's the life circumstances and their life journey and the experiences they have with it that influence that most of the time. So yeah, big importance there to be forgiving parents, grandparents, and ancestors. Forgive the ancestors, because I could tell you, if you look into history of how they lived and what they had, they didn't have much. They didn't have fresh running water out of a tap. They didn't have a flushing toilet. They didn't have hot water. They had to boil it up. You know, like they slept on really hard mattresses. Even kings and queens didn't have the sort of bedding that we've got now. So, you know, they really did it tough. It wasn't a modern world. It was modern to them in that time, but it certainly wasn't as modern as what we've got now. So, and they didn't have Google most of the time through Ancestry. They didn't even have a telephone. So, keep those things in mind when you are condemning, if you so need to. And remember to come from a place of forgiveness. That brings on the healing for you, because it's not wrong to feel that your parents didn't do this or that for you. It's just, you know, come from that higher understanding and that higher knowledge that we are privy to now in the 21st century, that, you know, even in the 20th century, most people's parents couldn't, including mine. And it did take me a while to forgive mine, but I realised, luckily at a reasonably young age, that they were only doing the best they could with what they had, and they didn't have much. Now, Nine of Swords here reversed. I do like that it's reversed, because it means through June all this work of forgiveness and releasing is paying its dues. You will get some satisfaction out of it. And even if you've got to sort of seek out some professional help, work out some of your financial worries, because you don't want to be walking around on eggshells. You don't want to be oversensitive, but you probably will be feeling a little bit oversensitive, okay? So just be aware of that, and maybe if you need to, let your friends know that, you know, I'm just a little bit sensitive at the moment. Because this is in your friendship group, this is in your social area of the wheel, it is about your hopes and fears. So you could find that these flashbacks or different situations and memories from the past are disturbing your equilibrium. So maybe there's going to be a little bit of hard work on your behalf to cancel. Just as soon as those negative memories come in, cancel. You don't have to think it over and over and over again. Okay? So yeah, ninth house there with that Nine of Swords is a healing and is a relief in a way, but there's stuff there showing up with that Nine of Swords that you've got to get through. And I just wonder, is it you carrying someone else's baggage? Let me know in the comments. But the past is really playing quite a role here for you, and not all of it is stuff that you need to heal. Okay? So this Six of Cups is speaking to you of living in the now and not looking back. So well done, Capricorn. You cancel out all the negative flashbacks or memories that keep dragging you back to that place that triggers your fears or your anxieties or your sadness. or sensitivity, you're cancelling it, because this is about living in the now and not looking back, and healing from any childhood trauma or upset. Okay, so really, really well done, working diligently on that by the looks of it, Capricorn. And, you know, spending that money, I mean, it's not that you want to, like these Pentacles here, the Ten of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles, they don't want to fork out the money, but when that situation happens and you've got to outlay money, while you're outlaying it, instead of begrudging outlaying it, it is better to enhance you being able to receive more abundance and prosperity, to be grateful that you've got the money to be able to outlay it, because it would be worse if you didn't have the money at all. That's how this all works. Okay, so now I'll just ask for your guardian angel for June. Who is Capricorn's guardian angel? What is the guardian angel that is with them here through June? Okay, welcome back to part 2. Now I'm just going to do a energy cleansing here for our part 2, and do a bit of an energy cleanse for my aura while I read you the second part. This is my Clary Sage frankincense blend. It is absolutely beautiful, even beautiful natural Australian mineral water. And you can use it as a mist for your face, to cleanse your face as well. I use it for all those things, and it just smells so beautiful. Frankincense and Clary Sage, just gorgeous. So if you're interested in purchasing any of these products of mine, please contact me in the email address below, and I will send you all the information connected with the different ones that I've got. Okay, so now we'll start here with the inner planets. The outer planets, larger planets, are already in place. They are slower moving, so they don't move as quickly as the inner planets. So the inner planets give us more of an idea of the month ahead and what's going on for the month, whereas the outer planets give us more of an idea of what is the big picture. And so for those of you that have been following, you will know that where these planets are, they have been in these positions for quite a while. But this month there's quite a few planets going retrograde, so we will get to that as well. So the Sun is in Gemini, in the 6th house of work and health. So in the area of health, the Sun radiates to the heart, literally. So you can check on how your heart is. Good time for a heart checkup for any of you that may have some concerns about how your heart is operating. The Sun also rules the head of state, father figures, your integrity, your vitality, and it also governs your will, your ego, confidence, your conscious mind, your image, the face you present. Okay, it's your authentic self. So it is about your sense of self. And here in this area of work and health, co-workers, clothing, karmic debt, your animals, mind, body and well-being, the Sun is being eclipsed in June, on the 10th of June. Now this is affecting the long term, so the trajectory is over the next 6 months. So over the next 6 months, this area of health, wealth, of health, food, hygiene, co-workers, work, conditions, clothing, your animals, your brother-in-law, sister-in-law, mind, body and well-being, and karmic debt are all being eclipsed and highlighted, and the energy from that will last over the next 6 months. Now, the good thing about this is that, you know, if the phone rings or you're waiting for information or a message, the answer is likely to be yes, because this is usually a good time for getting a new job, getting that energy, much needed energy boost so that you can move forward. And it's also a time where you can really discover where your emotions are at in regards to those areas that I mentioned. Okay. Now, Mercury is also in on the mix here, and Mercury is retrograde. So this is also a good time with Mercury retrograde for the next few weeks to put those final touches on any projects. If you're trying to come up with something new or reinvent something new, this is a good time for that. Mercury retrograde is a good time to revisit things, review things, redo things. It can even be having a reunion to do with someone from your working life, possibly, or someone who is also into healing and mind, body, soul, well-being. This is all highlighted here. And you could actually hear from someone from your past. So past connections are very strong here in your reading. Now, Venus is here in the area of partnerships, which is a really lovely place for Venus to be, especially when you had that Six of Pentacles reversed there. So, you know, having to sort of hand a lot out and not being willing to accept any sort of charity or anything, you know, whereas really it's not a bad thing to accept charity. It's actually a very high vibration thing, charitable people and accepting that kindness and from others. So Venus is about kindness and sympathy. It's about long-lasting ties of friendship, love and affection, beautifying your environment. So in the area of partnerships, business partnerships, legal dealings are also highlighted in this area. It is a sign of steady growth of capital and shrewd investments. Now, the vibration connected to Venus, the frequency of Venus at its highest potential, is love, unity, peace, harmony, beauty, jewelry, gifts, social life being enhanced, and enjoying pleasure and happiness, because Venus governs luxury, wealth and money, and it's in this area of business and partnerships. Then you have Mars here, also in Cancer until the 12th of June, and then moving into Leo on the 11th or 12th of June, depending on where you are, until the 29th of July. So it's well complemented here. Mars likes this energy. So this is enhancing your organisational abilities and power of leadership, bringing a bit of that extrovert out in yourself. And here in this 8th house that does govern your sex life, your sex life could be quite rewarding. Mars in Leo does lean towards very colourful, flair, for things as well, and remembering you've got that foundation that you're building here. And the Four of Wands is one of happiness and the couple being together and really that intimate side of life and feeling your emotions very intensely and passionately with Mars there, which is, you know, quite exciting for many of you Capricorns. Okay. Is here in Pisces, which for you is the third house of communication, brothers and sisters, mental activity, short journeys, transportation, trade, youth, speech and education. So Jupiter goes retrograde on the 20th of June, okay? But Jupiter in Pisces is a very beneficial placement and can lead you on an intuitive search for the truth and highlight for you how to use that mystical side of yourself in your visualizations or through your dreams, or just really taking more notice of how your psyche is sending you messages. Now in retrograde, it's speaking to you of no longer wanting to continue down the path you were heading, and quite a deep examination of one's intrinsic moral code, really getting the moral code, getting your own moral code, understanding it by experiencing your integrity and really running instinctively from your integrity. Okay? So with Jupiter in retrograde in Pisces, you could find yourself campaigning for the underdog. It's a very spiritual, religious frequency, making us look at our faiths and beliefs. And with Neptune there also, your psychic abilities are really being highlighted. So take the time to meditate. Use all those Neptune inspiring energies like music, writing, mysticism, art, compassion and forgiveness. So we're still focusing all on that, and in the communication area with that message from the moon that I gave you in the first round. Okay, now the full moon is here in Capricorn on the 24th. So you have a full moon in Capricorn this month on the 24th of June. So this is peak energy, culmination time. Now the moon isn't completely happy in Capricorn. It's not its favourite place. So just keep in mind that the moon rules the common people, which is us, and our needs. Okay, so there could be some moaning and groaning going on in the public or of the people of the earth, and it's also a bit moody here in Capricorn. So just keep that in mind. But a cool, calm reaction to any situation is likely, because Capricorn likes to keep things cool and calm. And on the more uplifting side of things with the moon in Capricorn, there is a strong urge to fulfill aspirations, and it can be a time where you can impress others. So remember that when you're sort of feeling a bit, for some, you know, that feeling like for some reason I just don't feel right or something like that, you know, that feeling. Well, it's very possibly this full moon in Capricorn, but it's only because, as I said, the moon isn't completely comfortable in Capricorn. So it does feel a little bit out of sorts, but you can lift that vibration and fulfill those aspirations and impress others as well. Now Pluto is still retrograde, and it is retrograde until the 7th of October. So keep in mind there is no rehearsal in this life. We've just got to forge ahead and gather up our courage and strength and forge forward. Virtually impossible with this Pluto energy, retrograde or direct. Virtually impossible to stay under an illusion. So your realities will be put to the test, and I could sort of hear people going, reality. Well, you know, if you won lotto, then you'd like reality. It's only when reality is showing us something that isn't matching our sense of illusion that we may be under that we don't like reality. So keep that in mind as it's being as if you get that feeling that your reality is being tested. So the Pluto energy is also about faithful encounters. Okay, so you may find that you have some sort of fateful event take place or an encounter take place, and it's also profound soul searching that really tests your fate. That is the paradox of Pluto. It results in letting go of what you thought were cherished ideals or ideas and people or goals, and not trying to force them to submit, you know, not trying to just force your will. So that's where you've been changing on profound levels, Capricorn, through that. Now Saturn is retrograde until the 11th of October. So as I said, we've got quite a few planets retrograde. So this is a great time to use this Saturn and Aquarius energy from now until the 11th of October for remodeling and shaping new boundaries. So this is the Lord of Karma. It is also the Father of Time. So this Saturn vibration rearranges our priorities, which can be frustrating at times, but it also teaches us to tend to the business at hand, because the Father of Time teaches us to wait things out. So there is a waiting period here being present through till October, and it's in one of your wealth houses, so it's really helping you to get that in order. So there may be some big thing that you want to purchase. Saturn being in the second house is saying to you, hang on a minute, now we need to reflect on the past and review this, because something needs to end in order to make room for something new. Now Uranus is here whipping up some excitement in this area of fun, where you find your joy. The 5th house governs speculations, games, your entertainment, what you like to be entertained by, and it's also the area that represents nobility, or that noble side of yourself. So the planet of freedom, liberation, radical change, surprise, unconventional is in here. Okay, so maybe whipping that up a bit. Uranus is the planet that governs science and electricity. It's also what helps to allow us to take a quantum leap forward. Okay, and it's in Taurus, so expect the unexpected with anything connected with beauty or nature or our food chain. Could be some unexpected developments going on with our food. And here in the 5th house, you know, you're trying to share the love here, with the 2 of Cups being one of receiving a gift, making agreements and unions. So if there is some unexpected events taking place for you with your children or your social connections, the answer is to really lift that frequency to the vibration of love. Muster it up as much as you can and try and stop this worry that is being shown here, because you could very well be worrying over your worrying, where, you know, you need to really just check in with yourself and realize that what you're worrying about hasn't actually happened yet, but because you're focused on that worry and stuck in it, you could be actually contributing to manifesting that. So cancel out that worry. Just say cancel. Okay, now I'll just ask for your animal medicine message, and this is the confirmation card of the whole spread for you. Ooh, oops. My pendulum fell off the table. Okay. What have we got here? Got 2 cards, Capricorn. So, your first message is the 2 of Winter, Dachshund Dog. Your medicine says procrastination and worry about others, what others will think. So procrastination and worrying about what others will think, and this is speaking to you of that here, is blocking you from making a decision. If you're torn between your own desires and someone else's, follow your own inner guidance. And you have the Empress. So this is mother energy here with the Empress, the goddess energy. 3 is your number, so you've got a number 10 with your Angel of Dreams and a number 3 as significant numbers for you. So your Angora Rabbit medicine is time to hop into action. Use your natural creativity to bring forth prosperity and success in your life. And the Empress is definitely a very fruitful card. It's definitely a card of prosperity. But for some reason, you've got to stop worrying. Stop worrying about what other people think. Be grateful for the good opinions of others, but it doesn't mean that you have to run your life by the opinions of others. Okay, so thank you so much, Capricorn, for joining me for this month's reading. Sending you peace and loving light. And please do click on that like button and share with all your friends. And don't forget that you can contact me down here through the email address that I've left you and all the other places where you can find me to get a deeper, more personal reading for yourself. So until next month's reading, Capricorn, namaste.